Hare Krishna. We continue reading from teachings of Queen Kunti. We are on prayer number 25, Unalloyed Devotion, which is in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 42. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anyone else. So Kunti Maharani has been offering these wonderful prayers to Krishna. We started reading the purport of this prayer by Srila Prabhupada, and we will continue to read. So we said that where did we stop? Let's see. Let's see, denunciation. Dhruva, no, we didn't do Dhruva Maharaj. I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, we finished the Isopanisad. So now here, the Mayavadi philosophers cannot see the personal activities of Krishna, nor the planet where Krishna is personally active. So because the light coming from the body of Krishna is so dazzling, it's very difficult to see the form of Krishna beyond the light. You know, like when the sunlight is too strong, you can't see the sun. The light is just too dazzling. And so the devotee prays, my dear Lord, your dazzling effulgence is just blurring my vision. Please take away this dazzling light so that I can see your beautiful face. This is a prayer in Sri Isopanisad. So the Bhagavatam says, Aruya Krichrena Param Padam Tata Patanti Ado Anadrita Yusmat Angrayaha. Because they do not see the lotus feet of Krishna, they have to return to this material world despite all their serious penances and austerities. So till the time we don't come to the point of Krishna, we continue to live in the material world. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that those who surrender to me can very easily cross beyond this material world. Otherwise, it is very difficult to cross this material ocean, which comprises of three modes of material nature. Krishna says, Devi hi esha gunamai, mam maya duratyaya, mam eva ye prapadyante, maya metam tarantite. He said, this divine energy of mine is very difficult to overcome, but those who surrender to me can very easily cross beyond it. So if at all we are serious about liberation, we are serious about self-realization, we are serious to understand the absolute truth, we are serious to see the absolute truth, then we have to take up Krishna consciousness. We have to surrender to Krishna. There's Krishna saying there's no way out. Otherwise, we continue to remain in the material world. Of course, the choice is ours. Krishna never forces us. Krishna never forces us. Thus, renunciation in itself will not help us. We may artificially renounce, but again, we shall become so-called enjoyers. Such renunciation and enjoyment is like a pendulum that goes this way and that. On one side, we may become false renunciants, and on the other, we become false enjoyers. So we may say, no, I have nothing to do with the material world. I'm spirit soul. This material world is material, it's false, I don't want anything, so I'm renouncing. But that is also not a perfect platform. Why? Because it doesn't belong to us in the first place. That's the reason it's so important to understand who do the things rightly belong to. We are thinking, oh, it belongs to me, so I renounce. Oh, no, I don't want it. It doesn't belong to us. That's the reason we need to hear from Srimad Bhagavatam to understand who do the things rightly belong to. And when we engage everything in the service of God, then we are being perfect in our renunciation. Then that is perfect renunciation. Engaging the things in the service of God because everything rightly belongs to God. So the remedy, however, is here. If we really want to become detached from this material world, we must increase our attachment for Krishna consciousness. Renunciation alone will not help us. Therefore, Kunti Devi prays, Tvai me ananya vishaya. She prays that her attraction be constantly drawn unto Krishna without being diverted to anyone else. This is bhakti, pure devotional service. For as mentioned by Rupa Goswami, devotional service should be unalloyed. Anyabhilashita Shanyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. So Kunti Maharani is praying. She's saying, I don't want to be attached to anything material. I want to give up my attraction for everything material. And I want to be attached only to you, my dear Krishna. This is pure devotional service. Pure devotional service. She wants her attraction to be constantly drawn unto Krishna. Have no other material distractions. This is true renunciation. True renunciation. This is pure devotional service. This is bhakti. In this material world, there are jnanis and karmis. The karmis are fools who unnecessarily work very hard, and the jnanis are those who, when a little elevated, think, why work so hard? So many things are not required. Why accumulate so much money and food and so much false prestige? The jnani thinks in this way. The bhakta, however, is beyond the karmi and the jnani. The karmi has many desires, and the jnani tries to get rid of all desires. But desireless can be possible only when we desire to serve Krishna. Otherwise, it is not possible to get rid of desires. Jnana karmadi anavritam. As bhaktas, we should have no desires for jnana and karma. We should be without attachment for material things. But we must have attachment for Krishna. In this way, our detachment will be fixed. So we may either say, oh, I want more and more and more, so I can enjoy more and more and more. And after frustration, we may say, I don't want anything. I want the bare minimum. I give up. I give up. I don't want this. I don't want that. Why do I need so much? Both are not correct. Both are still imperfect. We have to come to the point of bhakti. Bhakti. Because even so, at one point we are all having a lot of material desires. I want this, so I will enjoy, I will go here, I will enjoy. Another place, I don't want anything, I give up everything. We are trying to become desireless, but we cannot truly become desireless. Some desire is always there. Even the desire to become desireless is all still going to be there. So the true position is to engage in service of Krishna. That is true detachment. When we get attached to Krishna, when we engage everything in service of Krishna, whatever things we have, be utilized for the service of Krishna. Whatever skills we have, whatever resources we have, we engage it in service of Krishna. That is true detachment, because then we are engaging it in the service of, because everything rightly belongs to Krishna. So when we are using it in his service, then that is true renunciation. We must cultivate Krishna consciousness favorably. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. This means thinking of how Krishna will be satisfied. We must always think of Krishna, just like the gopis. The Krishna consciousness of the gopis was perfect because they had no desire other than to try to please Krishna. That is perfection. Therefore, Caitanya Mahaprabhu recommends Ramya Kachil Upasna Vrijavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita. There is no better process by which to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead than the method adopted by the gopis. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. This is how we need to cultivate Krishna consciousness favorably. So we need to hear and chant to come to this point of always thinking of Krishna. For the gopis, it was spontaneous. They love Krishna. We have forgotten our love for Krishna. So we have to cultivate Krishna consciousness to come to this point. Lord Chaitanya said that the gopis' love for Krishna is the most perfect. The gopis are the most Krishna conscious. They are the most highest devotees. then we'll say, oh, why are you discriminating between devotees also? Well, this is not a discrimination, but it's just stating the fact. There's always going to be levels in everything. So it's not to undermine any other devotee, but it is just to bring out the supermost exalted position of the gopis. The gopis had no desire other than to satisfy Krishna. All the gopis tried to satisfy him, including the elder gopis, Yashoda and her friends. And so also did the elderly gopas, like Nanda Maharaj and his friends. The boys and girls of Vrindavan, who were of the same age as Krishna, also tried to satisfy him. Everyone tried to satisfy Krishna, even the cows, the flowers, the fruits, and the water of Vrindavan. This is because everything in Vrindavan is spiritual. Nothing is material. So Vrindavan, we may think is like material. What is there? I can see there. It's full of dirt. There are some trees there. There's some dirt road there. There's some small houses there. So how are we saying it's material, spiritual? But we are seeing Vrindavan with our material eyes. We need the spiritual vision to be able to see the real Vrindavan. The real Vrindavan is the spiritual world. Everyone, all the Brajvasis love Krishna. Their entire being is to serve Krishna. I want to see Krishna happy. I want to bring a smile to Krishna's face. What can I do? And because we don't want to do that, that's why we are here in the material world. We have no place for us in the spiritual world. Why? Because we are like, oh, why is everyone working to please Krishna? I want to please myself. Everyone should work to please me. Why Krishna? Then that's why we are in the material world. No place in the spiritual world, because in the spiritual world, everyone is busy just trying to please Krishna, make him smile, see him happy. That is Vrindavan life. That is the spiritual world. That is also our actual position. We just have to revive it. We've forgotten it. The more we hear and chant, we will come to that position. That's our eternal position. Eternal position of the soul. The soul has immense love for Krishna. We just have forgotten it. So we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening in and joining in. Kunti Maharani ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.